My name's Holly Mackay. I'm a small business owner, I'm a mum, I'm also a financial commentator, and I run a business called Boring Money. We're currently going through automatic enrolment like loads of other small businesses up and down the country. And even though I do this thing for a living, I kind of know about pensions. It's what I do, it's what I talk about. I'm still feeling a bit baffled. We've got a letter from the pensions regulator that will look very familiar to loads of small business owners out there. We've got to go through this automatic enrolment thing. I want to choose the sort of pension that's going to be a good deal for the people who work for me. But I'm realistic, I'm not running British Airways here. I need to work with a pension provider that's going to look after me because we're pretty small. I also want to know how much it costs. It is another cost that I've got to factor into my 3-year plan. And I'm really just keen to sort of understand what is out there and what sort of help we can get. Come with us on our video blog. Over the next few weeks we're going to be going through the journey, taking you with us and hopefully working out at the end of the process not only how we do it and how much it costs, but who is the best pension provider for us. Welcome to our AE X Factor. Okay, phase one. The letter from the pensions regulator. Every small business owner will be getting sent one of these over the next few months if you haven't received one already. So inside it will have your staging date. This is basically the date when you need to do something. So do pay attention to this date. It'll have your PAYE reference in there and a letter code you'll need to keep hold of. It gives you what they call a duties checker. Boy, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? And there's a website address there you've got to confirm your duties. It also gives you a website address, and we'll show you that screen now, where you go to get some help. So there you go, the first stage of our AE journey. Okay, so this is the home page. That purple womble thingy over there in the right is the government's cartoony character for auto enrolment called Worky. Oh, honestly, how much did they pay an ad agency, do you think, to come up with that one? Anyway, you might have seen it on the telly. But there's basically some useful info here. It's probably worth a surf for a few minutes to get your head around some of this stuff. If you look towards the bottom left-hand side of the screen, it says check your duties, start here. So if you click on that, it takes you to the duties checker section. You're going to need that letter, which I talked about earlier, that you'll have received telling you about auto enrolment. There's 2 key bits of info on that letter you're going to need to get going. First up, you've got your PAYE reference. That's on the letter on the top right-hand corner. And you need what they've called a letter code. So do get those to hand before you start going through this process, or you'll just get frustrated halfway through. The next stage of this duties checker is to go through and say, look, either I'm doing this because I run a business or because I employ people in my home, whether that's a nanny or a cleaner, for example. So just select which one applies to you. We're going to assume for this vlog that we're talking to people who are running a business. And is the business still active? Is it still going or not? So yes or no, let's assume yes. Do you employ anyone? Might seem a bit weird that they're asking that, but some people obviously will have a business and they'll just be the only director of the business. But again, for most people listening into this, you will be an employer of people. So here we get to the duties checker page, and this is where you'll need the 2 bits of info I mentioned earlier, that letter code and the PAYE reference. And then what it will give you is that really important staging date. Write this down, it's kind of important. This is the date you're going to need to have sorted all this stuff out. That means chosen yourself a pension scheme, identified everyone that works for you that will need to be up and running in this thing and have got it going. The declaration date, as they call it, is a later date, which is basically the date when you need to tell the powers that be that you've done what you've been told and haven't tried to duck this auto-enrolment project. So then they just need to check with you that you will actually have people working for you. You do have people working for you which means that you have to auto-enroll.
So do you have employees who are over 22? And next question, are you paying them more than 10 grand a year?
So that's obviously going to capture most of us, unless you have lots of part-time workers or you're the world's stingiest employer. So once we've done all of that, you get your duties checker, just read through it. Yes, I run a business. Yes, it's still active. Yes, I employ people. They're earning above the amounts we talked about earlier, and they're over 22. So you've done now the first stage of auto-enrolment. Well done. I think that's enough for one day, but we've got our staging date there. You've got your declaration deadline. Next up, two pretty big things to work out: which pension scheme you'll choose and which of your staff you need to put into this.
This is Morg, one of my first employees, one of the great benefits of working from home. But before we tackle any more about choosing which pension provider you want, most of you are going to want to know how much this might cost and how to go about telling your staff about what's involved. And we'll tackle all of that next week in episode 2. Say bye, Morg. Don't bite me. You'll get no pension if you do. Bye.